Well, hello. Welcome back to North Carolina. Okay, I'm back in the United States. Good old U.S. of A. Feels excellent, by the way. Being reunited with my wife and my dogs after being gone for 8 weeks. Um, Speaking of which, we're in week 6 of this course now. I think quite exciting. Now we're going to synthesize everything you've done so far into one large paper. All right, and we're going to begin that process by creating an outline. You've been doing outlines all along, so you're kind of familiar with the process. I've put some nice resources into the learning module for this week, specifically about outlining. This is going to be a large outline, all right? And the purpose of the outline is to help you clarify your thinking and to make sure that you don't duplicate anything, to make sure that you're always drilling down through the paper, down through the topic, and not accidentally going sideways into other topics or extraneous thoughts, all right? So the material about outlining comes from Purdue. I think it's going to be useful to you. Please take a look at that in the learning module under additional resources. And then the discussion for this week kind of gives you a visual look at an outline. We are all visual learners. You know, there's some thought about we learn one way or learn another. But frankly, we all learn visually, particularly in this day and age of the internet and so much visual information. I mean, look at you right now, right? You're looking at me, you know, yakking away, okay? So the purpose of the outline is to help you not procrastinate, okay? That's why we've broken down the paper into these smaller projects all along, these kind of, analytical essays. And this is going to cause you to think through the entire paper now, to sort of combine all your thinking, combine all your research, and it's the final step to actually writing the paper. So please pay attention to the textbook, all right? Chapter 6 is very, very important to help you in this process. Please look at the additional resources that I put in the learning module. I put some sample outlines in there. I'm not grading the outline, but I'll be commenting on the outline. I want to make sure that your paper stays focused. As I said earlier, that drills down, doesn't go sideways, and doesn't repeat itself. As you think about the outline, each major point in the outline, you know, the higher level items, think of them as a paragraph, okay? Look at the page length requirement for the paper. Think about 3 paragraphs per page, generally, okay? That's really how it works. And think about a paragraph as being one main point that you want to make, one thought, one unified thought that you want to make, and then the sub-levels of the outline are the supporting documentation, the supporting resources, the research, the expert testimony, the facts and figures that you've gathered to support that point, okay? So I hope that's pretty clear. Hope that you do appreciate the outlining process. I've asked you actually in the discussion, what do you think about the outlining process? You know, beyond the issue that it helps keep you from procrastinating, all right, but is outlining helpful to you, or does it get in the way of creativity? And there is some thought both ways, okay? That said, this is not a creative project, okay? It's a analytical project where you need to use your best critical thinking skills, your best research skills, that hopefully you've avoided cherry picking the research, and that you're prepared now to write an academic paper, which, you know, and I understand that you're going to go out in the real world eventually, and you're probably not going to write a lot more research papers, but you are going to be doing research, okay? In any kind of business environment, any kind of professional environment, you have to get your background material in order before you can make a proposal, okay? So you're very likely going to be going out and making presentations that are researched, all right? So you have to be organized, you have to know how to do the research, you have to know how to not cherry pick the research, and you have to know how to make meaning out of the research, okay? You have to know how to analyze the particular elements of the research, which you've done so far, and then you need to know how to synthesize it, put it all together, all right, which is what you're doing in this paper. So please get down on this. The outline's quite important, all right. I will be looking forward to looking at it, helping you with it. It's not so much that the order is so important, okay. What's important is that it has an order and that the reader can discern the order, all right, that you're not wandering back and forth, that you're not repeating yourself, that you're not duplicating yourself, okay, that the paper has this feeling of drilling down through it, that it sort of follows the introduction, that it follows the thesis statement. By the way, the outline is supposed to have a thesis statement. You've been working on that, okay. Once again, a good thesis statement shows the reader, tells the reader how the paper is going to unfold, and then the paper follows that. It's like creating a roadmap. You know, here's what a thesis statement is. It says, hey, we're going to drive from Indiana to Florida, okay, and we're going to get to Florida and lay in the sun. All right, that's your thesis statement. But you unfold it. You say how we're going to do it. Well, we're going to go through Kentucky, right? I'm losing my mind here. We're going to go to Kentucky. We're going to get down to Tennessee, and then we're going to get down to Georgia, and then we're going to get to Florida. Okay, and then the paper follows that. Your paper says, okay, here we are in Indiana, then now we're in Kentucky, now we're in Tennessee, and now we're in Florida, and we're concluding, now we're on the beach. It's wonderful. Okay, that's what a thesis statement does. That's what an outline does. That's what the paper does. And then you conclude by what a wonderful time you're having in Florida. Okay, so the reason I think I'm dwelling on that is I've come back from Malaysia where it's always hot, always sunny. Okay, and here in North Carolina today it's cold and dreary and rainy and cold. Okay, so hey, I hope this has been a little bit helpful. I'm yakking on. I'm looking over here at the lecture notes. Please read those. Okay, please read the learning module, and by all means, please go over Chapter 6 of the textbook. It's very, very important. It's there to help you. So let me know if you have questions.